Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Please ensure to like, share, and subscribe. And also click the bell notification in the top right-hand corner to be made aware anytime I upload tutorials or videos to YouTube. All right, let's craft together. Hey guys, as promised, I did a YouTube short video today talking about creating the Edge greeting cards in Microsoft PowerPoint where you don't have to worry about registration marks, you don't have to worry about gluing anything onto the card. It's all going to print out on one piece of card stock. So this is for the large cards, okay? So today I'm going to show you how you can use Microsoft PowerPoint along with, and it's cold here in Texas, so y'all please don't mind. I got this hat and jacket on. It is cold here. But I'm using Microsoft PowerPoint and my laptop along with my front-loading printer to complete this task. Now you can use whatever type of cardstock you have. I'm using glitter cardstock, so if you guys can see, she's all glittered out on glitter cardstock. So it's glitter on one side, and then it's just a plain matte on the inside. So it's just one whole sheet. There's, as you can see, there's nothing taped on the inside. There's nothing glued here. It's just one whole piece of cardstock. I'm going to show you how to do this today where you can still put, you know, some type of, you know, information on the back, like, you know, your business name or love so-and-so or whatever, and still get your writing on the inside. And you can even put a little image there or what have you. So I'm going to show you how to do this. And I'm not sure if I'm going to show you how to do the full card. The full card I also did on glitter cardstock. So this is the look of an image. It's to make it look, not image. It's the look of an edge card, but it is actually a full card. So there's nothing missing here. That's just a white background on the side. And then you get your, you can, you know, put something, do the writing on this side. And, you know, the person that's going to sign it or whatever, they can write over here. And then, you know, you can still have your personal greeting over here as well. And then you still have your writing on the back or your information on the back. So this is also glitter cardstock. And then I tried it on glossy cardstock. So you can see the difference there. One is glossy and then one is on the glitter cardstock. And same thing, you know, on the inside there. So I'm going to show you how to do this one first. If it takes a long time, then I'll come back on another video and I'll show you how to do this one. It's really simple. But we're going to start out with the one that has the edge because that's the one that a lot of people are truly interested in. So without further ado, I'm going to jump over into Microsoft PowerPoint and we're going to get started. All right. Hi guys, so here we are inside Microsoft PowerPoint. A couple of housekeeping things I'm going to show you for those that are new to Microsoft PowerPoint. Those that have followed me for a while on my Facebook and YouTube and have created some of the greeting cards, I've shown you how you're a little bit ahead of the game. But when you log into Microsoft PowerPoint, when you first log in, if you have anything on your slide like this, any wording or boxes or whatever, just click on that slide and you're going to get this little list here. If you'll come down and select layout and choose blank, and that'll remove everything off of your slide. And then you want to have two slides to work with. So you can actually right click and select duplicate slide once you get that blank slide in there. And that'll give you two slides, okay? So what we want to do is we're going to be working with 8.5 by 11 cardstock, okay? So you want to make sure that you have an 8.5 by 11 slide size here. To do that, you can go to Design, in your menu, come over to slide size and select custom slide size. And you want to make sure the width is 11. If it's not, you'll just type in 11, and then the height is 8.5. You also want to make sure your orientation says landscape, okay? And if your settings needed to be changed here to 11 in width and 8.5 in height, and the landscape orientation, when you click OK, you're going to get another box. I'm not going to get it because mine is already changed. But if you get another box, it's going to ask you to ensure fit or maximize. You want to choose ensure fit, okay? So I'm going to hit OK. But if you get another box after you hit OK, select ensure fit and not maximize. All right, so that's it for the housekeeping. So right now you should have 2 blank slides to work with. And that first slide, the way you want to think about it is the right-hand side is the front of the card. The left-hand side is the back of the card. And you're basically just taking the width of 11 and you're dividing that in half. So it would be 5.5 on the front side and 5.5 inches of space on the left side. So this is going to be the back of the greeting card. This is the front of the greeting card. So if you go to insert, excuse me, and you select shape and choose a rectangle, and we're going to just drag like you would in Cricut Design Space as if you were inserting a square or rectangle. And if you, once you bring it in, what you want to do is you want to right click it and you want to select size and position. And this is just like in Cricut Design Space where you would indicate your width and height, okay? So we're going to put we want to leave our height at 8.5, but we want to make that width 11. So go ahead and type in 11, and you can tab and, not 11, I'm sorry, 5.5. You only want half of the 11. So 5.5 for the width, okay? And the way you want to look at this now, so you have height of 8.5, width of 5.5. This is the back of the card. And if you move that square over to the far right, that space that is now covered up by your blue or whatever color your square is, that's the front side of the card, okay? That's the way you want to think about it. Back of the card, front of the card, all right? Now what I want you to do is I want you to just right click and cut that square, and then click on the second, not square, but the second slide, and right click and paste. Just like Cricut Design Space, but it's just different functions that you're using to copy and paste, okay? All right, so let's go back to the first slide. So on that first slide, we know that this right-hand side is the front of the card, the left-hand side is the back of the card. So what I want you to do is go back to your menu, and now we're going to insert the square that's going to cover up the bulk of this screen so that we can place our image hanging halfway off of it, okay? So we're going to go insert, shape, rectangle, and it doesn't matter what side, how you drag it. We're going to go ahead and right click on it and select size and position. And I want you to make the height 8.5, so 8.5 for the height. And I want you to make the width 8.76. Now you can make it smaller than that if you choose. This is just going to be the part that covers up the front part of the back leading into the front of the card. And then you're going to have your image hanging off over where you see this white space, okay? So just drag that square to cover up from the very far left, and that's what your slide should look like, okay? Now you're going to insert your image, okay? So to insert your image, you go back to the menu, you select Insert, Picture, this device, and just like in Cricut Design Space, you would locate wherever your image is. Here's my image, and you're going to click it and select Insert. And there she is. Now, if you know how to use remove BG, it's probably better if you go into remove BG and remove any background from your image so that when you bring it in, it's just the image by itself, okay? Now, I am going to bring this down just a tad wide bit. And I'm going to see what size I have her at. Don't want her that little, but what I'm trying to do is PowerPoint thinks I have space here when I don't. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and click on crop. And you don't have to do this unless you have some extra space in there that you don't need. And I'm just going to click on one of these black dashes and drag it down so that it will eliminate that space that PowerPoint thinks is there. And then that will allow me to kind of drag her a little bit taller. Okay. So I'm going to have to shift her a little bit. All right. So now I have my little lady here. And I'm just going to have her kind of hanging a little bit off of the slide. I'm just making sure that I have all of her on the card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and select size and position. And we have the lock aspect ratio. And what that does is keep her proportion to height. Okay. It's going to keep her proportion to height. So you don't have to worry about the fact that we're kind of dragging her, you know, kind of like all over the place. But I want to get her kind of hanging off of my screen here. All right, so you want to make sure that you have that image hanging over, because that's what makes this card, you know, look really, really nice, is that little bit of edge. But you don't want it going past your, you know, 11-inch mark, okay? All right, so now we have our image, and my image ended up being, for those that want to have that information, my image is height of 6.77 and a width of 5.07, and I have my aspect ratio locked so that it doesn't change her to look stretched, okay? So that's how wide she is and how tall she is. Now, it doesn't look like she's super big, but trust me, when you print this card out, she's, you know, over half the size of the card. All right, so, and you want to think about this now, because remember, when I take this right here, I'm going to change the color just so that you guys can get the feel for what I'm saying here. When I take this and I put it up here, you see, this is the back of the card. Remember, this is the back of the card. So she is taking up the majority of the front of the card, okay? Because remember, this is the front of the card. So this is her. This is where you're going to put a few words, whatever you want to put here. So she is large, even though it doesn't look like it. All right, so next up, we're going to insert some words, okay? So we're going to go back to our menu and select Insert, and we're going to come over to Text Box. And just like Cricut, you know, you get a little text box there. You just kind of drag it out. And the good thing about this is, because this is printing from Microsoft PowerPoint, you can choose whatever font you want, and you don't have to worry about Cricut drawing the font, and then the font doesn't look nice like it does if you were to just print it out, okay? So if you go up to right up under transitions, there is a little box here. This is where your text is. You can select the text that you want. So I'm going to try this Alex here. And I'm going to keep up with the same momentum that I had earlier. And I'm going to put to my beautiful wife. Now you can put whatever you want to put, okay? But we're gonna fix this to where, you know, it's gonna look much bigger. All right, so I'm gonna change my text to be white. So right here next to this A with like a little underline, I'm gonna choose that and select the color white. And then this B right up under your font is for bold. So I'm gonna bold it. And then right up under record, you have some little icons. This is left align, this is center, this is right align, and this is going to be justified. So we're going to select, I'm going to select center. Okay. And then where we have the font type, next to it is the size. So you can change that sizing for your card. Okay. So there we have To My Beautiful Wife. And then the good thing here is that if you want to make the front part of this card to blend in with your image or a color from your image, all you have to do is select that shape. We're going to select the shape, the square, and we're going to come over to where it says Format Shape, and I want you to find the color, the fill color, because it should be on Solid Fill, and you're going to click that little drop down arrow, and you're going to select Eyedropper. And when you do that, you can point to any color on your image, any color on your image, and you'll see a little box that will show the color in the image. And when you click it, it's going to take on the color of wherever you selected on the image. And I like that because that way you can keep the color scheme going and you don't have to be, you know, trying to figure out what color will work best for it. I normally will choose a color from my image, okay? If you don't like that color and you say, oh, that's not the one I wanted to choose, just go back over to the same thing and click Eyedropper, and then you kind of play around with it again, and now you can see it took on a lighter color, okay? And I don't like it, so I'm going to go up here to the top left, and I'm going to click on Undo because I like the darker color. So now we have the front of the card designed. You can drag it out and design this however you like, as long as you are keeping it to where you are not messing or interfering with that center point for the back of the card. And the way you can tell is always bring your little 5.5 by 8.5 up and put it on your on the left side, because remember that's the back of the card, and you can see that you have enough space here where it's not going over to the back of the card. So we're going to cut that and put it back down here. All right, so the only thing we have left to do now, excuse me, is we want to insert another text box. And this is where you're going to go down to the bottom left side, and this is where you're going to insert, you know, whatever you want to put on the back of the card. Okay. And again, you can center it, because remember you got your left align, center, right align, justify. Click on center, and it's going to center it in there for you. You can highlight it and change the font text. You know, I might keep it going along the same lines of the text I'm using here. And you can bold it, you know, however you choose. You can make it larger. Okay. You can also make it whatever color. So I'm just showing you guys how in Microsoft PowerPoint you can do a lot of the things that you do in Cricut Design Space, but just a little bit better. Okay. All right, so that is the front of our card. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I want you to take and I want you to click on the shape on the front of the card and the little lady. And basically what you've done is you're getting them ready to kind of group them together. So after you click the both of them, I want you to right click and you're going to get a menu, select group and group. And now if you were to move her, she's attached to the card. Okay, or not to the card, but to your square. Okay. All right, so that is the front of the card, all decorated. Now we're going to do the inside of the card, and I'm going to keep this really simple. All right, so now we're going to move this over our shape that lets us know the front and the back. We're going to move that over to the right now because that is going to be the left side of the inside of the card. Okay. And we're not going to put anything on there, okay? But what we're going to do now is we're going to insert another shape. I'm not shape, but text box. And this time we're going to type the inside of our card. Now you can put whatever you'd like to put. I'm going to keep up with what I had earlier. I love spending each day of my life with you. All right. So I got that, and then I'm going to type Happy Valentine's Day. There we have it. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I want to center all of this. So I'm just going to highlight everything and select center. Okay. In addition, I'm going to come up to my font type, and I'm going to choose that. I'm going to go with Ananda Black. I never get it right. And keeping up with the color scheme with the color from the front of the card, when I click that drop down arrow, here are the recent colors that I've used. And I'm just going to select the color that I have on the front of the card so it'll all look really good together. And then I'm going to increase my sizing. Okay. Now, once you get your words and everything in, and everything looks good to you. Give me 1 second here because I want my Happy Valentine's Day on one line. What we're going to do now, spending each day of my life. That's one of the things Nanda Black doesn't show you on the screen, but I'll be able to see it in a minute. But it's like trying to tell me I have something wrong, so I'm trying to figure out because I can't see it. Okay. Each day of my life. Okay, I know I have it right, so I'm not going to change it. It's just tripping. Da, 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 da. Excuse me. All right, stop my PowerPoint. Changing my stuff. All right, and then I have Happy Valentine's Day. And hopefully I have my exclamation in there. I think I do. All right, so now what we're going to do, and this is going to feel a little weird because it's going to be much different than Cricut Design Space, but we're going to have to turn this upside down. Now you can use the turn here to turn it. And then we're going to bring it down because remember, this is the inside of our card. We're working on the inside of our card now. And I'm using a front loading printer. So we're going to be printing on one sheet of paper, back and front side. So this is the direction that your text should be in for the inside of the card for a front loading printer. Okay, front loading printer. We're going to be loading directly from the front of the printer. Now, one of the things I also like to do is I always like to add my picture also at the bottom. I think it's kind of cute. So I'm going to insert that picture again. And I'm just going to rotate her like that. Okay. And you're not going to believe this, but you're done. And I can delete that square, and because we don't want that square to print out. Okay. We do not want that square to print out. So now you should have the front of your card with your image hanging off the edge. You should have the back, whatever you're going to put on the back of the card, and then you have the inside of the card on the second slide. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead at this point. We can go ahead and print. So, excuse me, I apologize, guys. I think I'm coming down with a bug or something. So my throat is really irritated. So I hate to keep, clearing my throat. Okay. So now we have our card. Everything is done. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to be printing this out on my glitter card stock. So the front of my card is going to be glittered. Okay. And then the inside is going to have the matte look. Okay. So this is what your card should look like. We're going to click on File, Print, and you want to select whatever printer you use for your inkjet printing. I have the HP OfficeJet Pro 7740. And then I'm going to select Printer Properties. A couple of system things I'm going to have you to do is make sure that your paper quality is on letter. And for my front loader, I'm using the main tray, which is the top tray, because I have two trays. If you only have one, then you'll just go with that main tray. And I'm going to leave it on other matte inkjet papers because it's not going to recognize the glitter cardstock anyway. And your print quality, make sure you got it on best, or you have it on best. And the main thing that I want you to do once you click on OK is I want you to make sure that under settings it says print current slide. Print current slide. Do not, if you have print all slides, you're going to have a mess on your hands. You only want it to print the current slide, because we're going to print the front side, the front and the back of the card, and then we're going to insert that same sheet back into our printer to get the inside of the card. Okay. So we're going to go ahead. At this point, you're ready to click on print. Now I need to load my machine. And if you're using glitter cardstock or you have glossy photo cardstock, if you want the front of the card that has the glitter on it, you want to make sure that you put the glitter, excuse me, you want to make sure you put the cardstock in the front loading main tray with the glitter facing down. If you're using photo paper and it's only glossy on one side, you want the glossy side facing down, okay? And that will print your image, your front and back of your card on the glossy side or on the glitter side, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on print. I'm going to get ready to click on print, but I want to show you how my paper is going into my printer. So I'm going to end here and get ready to print. All right, guys, so this is my front loader. This is the OfficeJet HP OfficeJet Pro 7740. And I'm going to be printing on the glitter side of the cardstock. So one side is glitter and the other side is just matte. So I'm going to put my glitter side down, face down, okay, in my front loader. so that when it prints, it's going to print on the glitter side. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in the machine, and I'm going to close it. And it's best that you only work with just this one sheet of paper, because if you accidentally hit print, you may be printing on another sheet of paper, and we want everything cohesive on one piece of cardstock. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit print now. All right, so we got it getting ready to print out here. I know my whole table shakes when I'm printing because I have two big printers over here, and my table is like, these two big printers are heavy. I have my Epson 7720 right here, and then I have my HP right next to it. All right. All right, there we have it. So it has printed out. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take and put this right back, because remember, everything we want it on one piece of cardstock, front and back side. So now we're getting ready to do the inside of our card. So for the front loader, you're going to take, and the image is going to be closest to you. Okay, do not turn it around to where the image is going that way. The image should be closest to you. Okay, and you're going to slide it right back into your machine, close it up, and now you're going to go back and click on the second slide, which is the inside, and just go ahead and hit print, because you should have already put in for it to print only the current slide. Okay, so all I have to do is click the second slide and go and say File and Print. All right, so click on the second slide, and then choose File and Print. Your print current slide and all that good stuff you've already done, so all that's already okay. All right, so we got it printing out here. Let me turn it back around so you can see everything I'm doing. All right, so there's the inside. There's the inside of your card. Okay, and there's the other side of your card. So now, and you want to make sure this is laying on something flat when we get ready to fold it. Okay, because we're not going to be putting anything into the Cricut. We're going to do all the work ourselves. Okay, so at this point, all we have to do is take and cut her out. You can use an X-Acto knife if you're that good, or you can use some scissors. Okay, now you can leave a little bit of the white if you so choose, or you can cut her all the way to where her outline is. It's totally up to you. Okay, and then once you do that, all you have to do is fold the card in half. Okay, that's it. All right, so I'm gonna stop here, and then I'm gonna pick back up with you with us cutting out and then folding the card, and we're done. All right, guys, I accidentally hit my camera button and stopped my recording to show you me cutting out the freaking card. And that just ticks me off. I was uploading my tutorial and I got to the last part and realized that I cut it off. All right, but at any rate, this is the card that I was working on. Okay, same card. And this is where I left a little bit of white as I cut it out. So I'm going to do it like that so you can see it better. I like the little bit of white kind of sticking out a little bit. And that way, if you're not perfecting the cut, you don't have to worry about it because it's just the white. As opposed to if you get all the way up to her dress and her arm, and if you accidentally snip it, then, you know, you're snipping your image. So I would leave a little bit of white. Now, when I did the first card, I'm trying to see where I put all my dang on card set because I had them in my hand when I started. Hold on one second. I don't know where I set my freaking cards down. Did I put them in my drawer? Hold on. Nope. Okay, I set my cards down. All those cards that I made, I've set them somewhere, and I don't know where I set them at. So, hold on one second. Okay. This will be one that I can show you. All right, so this is one that I did on glossy photo paper. So since I've already cut this one, I'm going to cut this one with you. So whether you're using scissors or an X-Acto knife, I would highly recommend that you leave a little bit of the white part. It's up to you. You can do whatever you want to do. But I would leave a little bit of the white, and that's just in case you get, you know, too close to her arm or too close to her, you know, dress or face or whatever, that you do not, you know, snip her. So just a little bit, not, you know, not where it's excessive. But you just cut her out with your scissors. It is not going to take very long. Of course, we know Cricut does the cutting better, but, you know, who wants to keep going back and forth with size restrictions and all that good stuff when we can just jump over to PowerPoint and knock it out. And once you design this card in PowerPoint, make sure you save it, you know, for the next go round. And the concept is the same. The only thing you would do is change your wording or whatever image you're going to be using. I like to leave a little bit of the white on that little top part as well. And there we have it. We got to cut her out, and that's how it's going to go, just like that. So you got everything on one piece of cardstock. Okay. So I apologize that I stopped the camera from recording, and I'm uploading the tutorial. I'm like, why is this saying 32 seconds? It took me longer than 32 seconds. But that's it, guys. So this is the card that I just worked with you on, and I cut it out already off camera by accident. So, and then you want to make sure that when you fold your card, I like to fold mine from the inside, not the outside. I fold mine from the inside, and I use my little Cricut tool. So I make sure that I line up that very edge here with the back. I make sure I line that up, and then make sure you're on something flat. Don't try to, you know, and then I use my Cricut tool to just go down that edge just like that, so that you get it, you know, nice, since we're not using a scoring wheel. Okay, so one of the things I do want to tell you guys is that when you put this square shape that we did 8.5 by 8.76. When you put that shape on your slide, make sure that you and I forgot to tell you, so I'm going to tell you now. Hold on one second. Make sure that when you click on that square, and when you click on the square, you want to right click it and choose size and position. And when you choose size and position, you're going to see an area that says line. It's going to say line, and you're going to select no line. That's going to take, and you guys may not be able to see it really good, but there's like a little black line going around my pink square. And to get that out, just right click the square, click on the square, right click it, choose size and position, and then select line and then choose the little radio box that says no line, okay? And that'll take away the line that you're seeing on my little square here, okay? I'll also put it in the video, not in the video, but I'll also, as the video is going, I'll put a box to tell you to right click and remove that line that's going around the pink box. That's if you choose to use the pink box. You may be using a blue box or red box or whatever. But to get that line, because I don't like that line, and I didn't have it on my first card. I cannot believe I don't have my cards. But anyway, I didn't have it on my first. Let me see if this is it. No, this is not it. But you can see on this one, there's no line. There's no line going around my pink. But on this one, on a glitter card stock that I did with you guys, I forgot to remove that line. So it's up to you. I mean, it's not a deal breaker, but I don't like the look of it because I want it seamless. And so it'll be seamless if you remove that. All right, so this video has been long enough. That's it, guys. I need to take some medicine. I hope I'm not coming down with, I'm not even going to put it into the atmosphere. I just got a little bit of cold, and that's it, okay? But that's it, guys. And I ordered my large envelopes. This one has been through the ringer off of Amazon. And your card will fit in that large envelope without you having to make envelopes, unless you just want to. So I just put this in the large envelope, and all you got to do is send it on off if you are, sending it to someone. But that's it. That's how you make the Edge card directly in Microsoft PowerPoint. And it's got all the makings of everything that you saw. This is not the card. But it's got the makings of everything. You got your back, information on the back, your edge, and your inside. Okay. And you can make, guys, as long as you're not crossing over the front side of the card to the back side of the card or vice versa, you can put whatever you want. I just did this because that's what I wanted to do. But you can put whatever you want, as you know, on the front of your card. Use whatever image you have and whatever you want to put on the inside, okay? All right, guys, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I want to tell you guys, if you're currently subscribed to my YouTube channel, thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you can be made aware anytime I upload tutorials to YouTube, which I do fairly often. And if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel and this is your first time seeing me, then please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, okay? I also have a Facebook group called Ken Doris's Cricut and Creative Crafters. It is a private group, so if you would like to join us there, then just send me a Facebook group request to Ken Doris's Cricut and Creative Crafters, okay? And I am a trainer. I'm in learning and development for over 30 years by trade, so I talk with my hands. I apologize. Let me try to put them down. But yeah, that's it, guys. So again, my Facebook group is Ken Doris's Cricut and Creative Crafters. I hope that this tutorial was helpful. And guys, don't be afraid to use PowerPoint. If you have PowerPoint, it's already paid for. Why go out and buy something else? You can do so much in PowerPoint, and that's my goal, is to try to teach people how to use Microsoft PowerPoint or designing things. Okay, so on my YouTube channel, I have a couple of videos teaching you how to do stuff. I show you how to do the smaller greeting cards, everything in Microsoft PowerPoint, so that you don't have to even touch Cricut Design Space or anything like that. But again, this tutorial is not about knocking anyone that uses Cricut Design Space, because we all use it, to make the edge card, because those cards are gorgeous. But I, on the other hand, do not want to be worried about gluing no images down and all that kind of stuff. So if you want an alternative to that, this is it. And I will do another tutorial, but it's going to be on the one where it's going to be on the one where it looks like this is missing, but it's actually not. Okay, so I'll do that one as well, maybe tomorrow when I'm feeling better, because this tutorial is already longer than I wanted it to be. Okay, but don't forget to remove that line around your square, guys. Don't forget to do that. Just right click on the square, size and position, come down to line, and select no line. Okay. All right, guys, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. And you know, my motto is each one reach one, so that each one can teach one. And you guys have a great day. Bye.